This is System 12, Weeks 1 and 2, the Barry Harris Diminished 6th Scale. I give him credit for it because he really dug into it. It's also known as the Major Bebop scale, though. As with all of this stuff in the daily workout, I'm not really dealing with how to use the stuff. So it's not really an application of it. There are lots and lots of great videos on YouTube of Barry Harris himself or some other great people explaining how to use the scale. But most of what I'm doing is just teaching the scales themselves in a sort of a systematic way that gets you through all the keys on a lot of them or all the forms of a lot of them. But gives you a daily workout to get the core skills. You know, it's a little bit like if you've ever seen the old Karate Kid movies where he'd make you do, you know, wax on, wax off, and then he'd paint the fence and paint the fence. And then the teacher eventually showed how to apply those into, in this case, it was, you know, karate or whatever. But these are just the skills, the core skills. I sort of liken them a little bit to having the bricks and the mortar and the wood for building a house. So you have the core components for building the house, but it really takes somebody to know what to do with those core components. But what this course is really all about is not how to use these, but the core components themselves. Building up your ears, hearing it, getting your hands so that you get some muscle memory behind it, getting a little bit of understanding so you can say what these things are. So I'm going to just tell you what this Major Bebop scale is, or the Diminished 6th scale, as it says. And the reason they call it the Diminished 6th scale is it adds a diminished 6th note to, it's actually a minor 6th note, to the major scale. So, for instance, if we're going to do this starting off in the key of D in the C form. If I just played my regular C old caged form from the very first system way back when, all I'm doing is I'm simply adding the flat 6 into this scale. And it sounds like a silly thing, but you'll hear so many bebop players utilize this in their playing. There's a couple of reasons. First of all, it gives a color note, almost like the color note in the pentatonic. Like that note is a really good note for the pentatonic, and it really gives you some different sounds that players use all the time. When this it gives a really nice sound in the world of jazz. It also makes it a little bit more symmetrical scale. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. It puts the root back on 1 when you do that, which is kind of nice. So again, you guys can dig into this a little bit more on your own. You'll really enjoy the scale a lot. I'm going to give you one quick aside on this. If you take the notes of the scale and you make like a C6 chord, I'm starting in the first inversion, and then you do a diminished scale, you can get some really nice chord melody stuff out of it. And this is stuff that Wes Montgomery used a lot, and you know, tons of other people have used that sound in their playing. Okay, so back to the scale itself. We're going to start here in second position. We're going to start in this caged form, the C form of it, and we're simply going to add the note B flat into this. So that note, we're going to turn it around. Same, adding that B flat note, the chromatic note. And then we're going to add the B flat note again. What I'm going to do though, just to shake up the fingerings a little bit, is I'm going to do the 4th finger, and then I'm going to do the 4th finger down to the note A. But then when I go back up to the B flat, I'm going to stretch my 1st finger. I like when I'm using this finger to come down and this finger to go up. So I don't like as much going up with that, but you can do that as well, of course. But it's good to mix up your fingering sometimes, because you never know, in improvisation, you'll use different fingering. All right, so let's try this again. It's going to go like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And then we're going to go up a half step. Same thing. We're going to take this chromatically all the way up. So you'll go to the octave on this, and then all the way back down, and so on. You'll take it all the way up to here. And then back down chromatically.